Hello everyone, welcome to first special podcast of CricNerd 18. I have today a guest from Australia. Hello
G'day,
Jimbo.
guys. G'day. I'm here to have a chat about cricket with CricNerd. It's good to be here. We've been talking about this since I think the start of the IPL. That's when we discussed possibly getting on. So yeah, it's going to be good. Can't wait to talk about some cricket.
So the first topic of today, I want to know how popular is cricket in Australia and how people recognize it.
Cricket it's pretty popular in Australia during the summer period. During the winter, it's a little bit quieter because we've got Australian rules football. So we've got some more Australian leagues that are homegrown, I guess. That not cricket's not going to really work in the winter because of the severe amount of rain. There's actually a lot of rain at the moment in Australia, unfortunately. So it would always be a washout. So unfortunately, not so much in the winter, but in summer it's huge. The MCG is always packed in and I'm always there. So it's really good.
So people care about cricket when it's summer.
Yeah, they do. As well as winter, they watch from home, but it's just not the same as just sitting there watching cricket from the stands. That's what's really the best part.
And how much popular is Big Bash League?
Big Bash League, so it was really popular at the start. COVID unfortunately ruined a lot of things with sport in Australia. So unfortunately, the Big Bash crowd numbers died down a bit during COVID because people prioritised international cricket for Australia and the white ball stuff. So, and then they cut the fixture a little bit down in the last year, and the viewership's gone back up. So maybe it was an oversaturation of the amount of games that were played, but it's getting popular again. And it's really good to see it's on the up again. So I remember I was there for the Stars Renegades game with 80,000 in the house at the G. That was the biggest crowd in Big Bash history. And hopefully soon enough, it will be the case again when we get hopefully 90,000.
Yeah, I was reading the article that before COVID, the average attendance of BBL used to in top 10 sports in the
Yeah,
world. But
yeah,
after
it was. It was
its
huge.
attendance declined very much.
It was that and also the fixture. There was too many games on. And I guess and it was
They have reduced the number of games. I like the format in which every team play every team.
yeah,
Like
it was
double
good,
round
but
IPL.
yeah, it's a good idea, but unfortunately, we just don't have the time because it crosses with school holidays, and they had to put them on weekdays, and it crossed with school. So, actual attendance wise, it wasn't a great idea. But as cricket lover myself, and I'm sure you could agree, and everyone here who's watching, the more cricket, the better. Plain and simple.
So it was your first time you watched the IPL this year. How was your
Yes, it
experience?
was. It was good. I was up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. watching RCB. That game against CSK though at Shimasawani, that was beautiful. Loved every moment. I still watch replays from time to time. And I'll tell you what, that rain really scared me all week, that rain. And then the fact that we were able to defend 200 runs was insane, especially after that last over. And the IPL, it was a great experience. The auction was good. And hopefully RCB can finally lift the trophy at some stage because they've suffered like the Melbourne Stars. And I'm sure you can agree, and everyone else in India who support RCB, we're fed up with it. We want to see a trophy.
Next week, BCCI gonna announce the rules of retention. So,
Yes,
which player
they
do
are,
you
aren't they?
think we should retain?
So I think we should retain Virat Kohli. Obviously, that's a given, of course.
That's for sure.
I think Rajat Patidar, he was pretty good and young talent. And who else? Will Jacks has to be retained at some stage. And
I think Cameron Green
because if
will have edge.
you have Cameron Green over Will Jacks,
Yes,
why do you think
because
that?
we have a high amount in the last auction, and RCB will not left him.
Yeah, we did spend a lot on Cam Green, unfortunately. You guys know, I'm sure people know. But yeah, he did all right. But I just think Will Jacks is because I don't see us retaining Maxwell, unfortunately. So if we're going to get something like Glenn Maxwell, it's got to be Will Jacks because I think Will Jacks is, I guess, a better option for RCB in the future because of his youth and also the fact that he had a really good IPL. Don't get me wrong. He smacked a century in, like he smacked 50 runs in about 6 minutes, I saw, against the Titans. And Glenn Maxwell didn't even get a single 50 in the whole tournament. I don't even think he got 50 runs for the entire tournament. So I just think Will Jacks is a much better option going forward. But Glenn Maxwell, don't be surprised if you see in the auction that if we don't retain him. Don't be surprised in the auction if you see that we pick up Maxwell in the auction. I also think another option is Steve Smith. I think Steve Smith is in some really, really top-notch form in all sorts of cricket right now. So for the Sydney Sixers, he was doing well in those 2 games that he participated in. Not so much that second one in the Sydney Derby, but there's that. He didn't do well in the Australia-New Zealand T20 series in those 2 games. But after that, I'll tell you what, he did well for the Washington Freedom in the MLC. He did amazing. And he didn't participate for Australia in that World Cup. And looking back at it, look, I think we probably should have picked him, but we didn't. And he's not participating in the Scotland or England T20 series. So, yeah, I don't know. I think RCB could retain him. He said he's going to put his hand up again to participate in the IPL, which would be something, it'd be amazing, to be honest. I would really want to see Steve Smith in RCB colours. There's also Rohit Sharma. I don't see him participating for MI anymore. I think he'll leave. I think he's got a little bit of a problem with MI ever since they gave the captaincy away to Hardik Pandya. I think Rohit Sharma wasn't that happy with it. And to be honest, a lot of the MI fan base were pretty disappointed by that. So, yeah, I see Rohit leaving. We could possibly get him. We'll never know. Who else we got? Jasprit Bumrah, he's also another option. Bumrah would be interesting in RCB colours, considering how good he is. And yeah, it's just going to be exciting.
MI is not going to release Bumrah at any cost.
No.
World cricket.
Of course.
More than the captain, I can say that for sure.
I think another option, if he puts his hand up, Adam Zampa, because he obviously pulled out for Rajasthan Royals.
Adam Zampa many season left IPL mid-season, so RCB owners are very angry with him. They are not going to trust him.
Well, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But RCB, it's very exciting. The fact that we came back from where we were at the midway half of the IPL is just extraordinary. So if we can continue that form into next year, we're going to be a serious threat. And I'll say that.
That was a miracle.
And also, I was saying earlier, Steve Smith as well could be an option, considering how good he was for Washington Freedom.
But
he has put his hand up.
Doesn't fit T20 cricket. Virat Kohli is there, so I don't.
RCB is not going to buy him. Other franchises like Lucknow Super Giants or
LSG need a captain, so they can go for Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see, because as you said, I did read a report, actually. There was a lot of disagreements between the IPL owners about retention. I think RCB wanted 4 teams and then 4 players, should I say, and then the other teams, like I believe the Sunrisers, wanted 6 to 8.
I think BCCI will be on middle ground and allow 4 retention plus 2 RTM.
Yeah. And that would mean MS Dhoni will definitely be playing for CSK if that's the case. I think.
I want to see him last time live in this.
I was actually happy. We said farewell to him. If he actually retires, RCB are responsible for him going. So look, he's had a terrific career, but he's very dangerous. He scared us at the end of that game. I was scared. I was petrified that he'd
every
get
time
to 200.
we play with CSK, Dhoni always scare us.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see.
The player with most run against RCB is MS Dhoni. He have more than 1,500 runs against RCB.
And that's going to continue if he keeps playing.
I want next year. And if MS Dhoni gonna play next year, then the first match of next IPL will be RCB versus CSK first year. IPL will start
similar to last year.
And then next season match is also gonna increase.
Yeah, say that. What was that? So what was it going to increase from? 14 or
18 match per team. 4 match will increase per team.
Yeah. That will be
PSL will be colliding with IPL next year.
Yeah.
What would you watch, PSL or IPL? I know your favorite
I'm going to be,
team.
yeah,
Kolkata
you know the
Knight Riders
answer. Of
from
course, I'm
PSL.
going to watch, of course, I'm going to watch IPL because the PSL, I'll tell you what the PSL will be during that time. It will be the players who weren't selected in the auction, I reckon, will go over to the PSL and participate in that. So I guess it will be an interesting little rivalry, but we all know that the IPL is going to absolutely destroy the PSL in viewership.
Why Australian player are not playing PSL? Is there any specific reason about that?
They're playing.
Because
No.
I can answer that because when the PSL started back 8 seasons ago, I believe, it actually crossed with the Big Bash. So Cricket Australia were like, no, we're not going to send these players over to participate in the PSL. Now that the PSL is a little bit away from the Big Bash near the end, I just think that players just too much cricket in once because there's obviously players are going over to South Africa to participate in that, the ILT20 in Dubai. There's just more lucrative deals that Australian players have agreed to. So, yeah, Marcus Stoinis has agreed to play for the Super Giants franchise in the South African League. So there's that as well, but he won't be able to play for them until after the Big Bash because CA have it contracted where you can't leave the Big Bash mid-season unless you're like an international. So that's going to be the problem going into the BBL draft because the availability of certain players are only 6 to 9 games, which is going to be annoying for a lot of Australians who want to watch their, well, not their players, but international talent in our own backyard. So it will be really interesting to see what's going on. I know that the ILT20 have pushed their competition forward.
Draft rules of BBL. Can you explain to us?
Sure. So there is 32 picks in the draft where every team can retain at least one player in the draft. So a couple of years ago, actually, the Adelaide Strikers, we wanted Rashid Khan and the Adelaide Strikers retained him so they can use their one retention pick on a player if another team picks them. Also, they've introduced a new rule where there's pre-signings. So you can pre-sign one player. And the Stars, we chose Tom Curran. The Perth Scorchers chose Finn Allen, for an example. So that player has to play the Big Bash and cannot leave the Big Bash for the amount of time on the contract. So Finn Allen and Tom Curran both signed a 2-year deal, so they can't go play in the ILT20 or the SA20 mid-season. So that's really good. It keeps some sort of international talent there. Colin Munro also agreed, and so did Sam Billings. So they'll be joining the ILT20 later as compared to last year when they left mid-tournament. Do you want to talk about the big summer ahead between our two countries, India and Australia? We're ready to go.
Yeah.
Big test series. Yeah, I think it's our biggest test series in quite a while, actually. It's probably bigger than the Ashes here in terms of, not rivalry, in terms of competition. I think rivalry for Australia's.
Don't you think Border Gavaskar Trophy has more viewership than the Ashes?
It would because of the fact that the Indian audience are obviously going to watch India, and they've got such a huge market. If you can tap into the IPL market or that Indian market, you're going to be successful anytime. So the second India is going to play a game of cricket, you're going to see massive boost in viewership. But I think for an Aussie myself, I'd still pick the Ashes based on that rivalry, and especially last year with the Johnny Bairstow stuff, it just heated it up so more, and it was just so entertaining. But I think in terms of actual cricket and tactically and talent-wise, I think Australia and India is always going to be number one. But as an Aussie, I have to hate England more.
Yeah, valid point.
So how do you see that series going?
I think it would be very competitive, but my prediction is India will win 3-1.
3-1. So you see a draw because there's 5 games. So do you see a draw?
Yeah, 1 draw.
I think Australia
I am excited for the Gaba test.
I think Australia will win 3-2. You guys are going to probably win. I see you guys winning the first game in Perth and probably the game in Brisbane again, like you did last time. But I don't know. We'll see because Sydney's weather is so bad during that January period of time. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But I just think, it's going to be entertaining. It's a huge summer of cricket in Australia, though. I think there's going to be so many people in the grounds as compared to last year. That Pakistan. What I will say about last year's Test series against Pakistan, that first game in Perth, no one showed up. That was it was really disappointing, to be honest. I don't know if that's because we're versing Pakistan and they're not as good as an India or England, or the fact that it was during a work week. But seriously, you need more people in seats for a test series of any sorts.
Talking about Pakistan, they are playing a match against Bangladesh and they are losing.
So Bangladesh needs 29 to win.
Bangladesh need 29 to win. Well, we're gonna watch Bangladesh beat Pakistan. Then it looks like, because Babar Azam struggled for a while now. He got a golden duck. I think Bangladesh win the series the way it's going right now. I think they'll win the next game. Sucks for Pakistan cricket, but it's good for you, especially you guys. You'd be very happy that Pakistan are losing this. Tell you what.
Yeah, we will. We are.
We don't need to be. They are not at the standard of Indian cricket team.
Well, yeah, I tend to agree with it because Australia beat them 3-0. So I'll tell you what, yeah. India controls the Asian region for cricket, plain and simple, and that's always going to be the case. I don't see it ever changing because of the amount of people that participate in cricket, and I guess the amount of eyeballs glued to the TV for when India play. And I'll say a fun fact, actually, India-Pakistan in 2019 got more views on live television than the FIFA World Cup. So that just shows you how much people care in India about cricket. And I wish it was in Australia, but unfortunately, it's not the case. It's not as religious as it is in India, but I hope one day. We'll let the cricket do the talking.
AFL is popular in Australia as cricket in India.
Well, I think India definitely cricket's definitely more popular in India. Definitely. 100%. But I'll tell you what, a lot of people do watch cricket here, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love cricket. I'm missing Test cricket for Australia right now. I really want Australia to play some Test cricket. I'm getting that T20 burnout. But the good thing is, I guess we've had a little break, and then the CPL starts in a few days, which is exciting. See if we can defend the title, the Amazon Warriors, but we'll have to wait and see on that. And
the present team of Punjab teams, I want them to win the CPL.
Yeah, and Faf also plays for them as well, so that would be another reason to support him as an RCB man yourself. I think the CPL is going to be a lot of fun. They've marketed it as a lot of fun, and I really hope that it delivers. I really do hope it's going to be a lot of fun.
The tagline of CPL, do you know? The biggest party of cricket.
Yes, the biggest party of cricket. Well, I don't know. I think the IPL is more of a party than the CPL with the amount of sixes hit into the crowd with those big totals in the IPL. But we'll have to wait and see. I've got a question as well for all three of you, actually. Would you want to see a Champions League T20 at some stage brought back?
I won't, but I have an idea about it, and I am planning a video about
so am I.
T20.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah. But we'll have to wait and see on each other's channels. But yeah, I think it should happen, but it's just a matter of how the scheduling is going to go with the international.
Rather than a Champions League in cricket, IPL should go international and add teams in IPL from other countries. That would be
I disagree.
Because they should capitalize on IPL brand value.
Yeah, well, that is a good point. But the thing is, with stuff like the Big Bash, it's unique because it doesn't have any IPL franchises, and that makes it as fun as it is. Because we don't like
SC20 can be tier 2 competition, and there can be a system of relegation and promotion.
Oh my god! No, don't bring the Premier League stuff into this. I think, I don't know. I don't think there should be. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think. I'm just trying to think here. I think that I don't know. I don't agree with the IPL going international necessarily because there's so much international talent playing in the IPL anyway. So what would the difference be?
I think because 90% of cricket fans watch IPL, but that 10% that don't watch IPL, I want them to also watch the IPL.
Well, there's that as well as World Cups, of course. I've got another question. How do you think what do you think India is going to do with the Champions League situation? Are they going to Pakistan? Are they going to Sri Lanka? Or are they going to the UAE?
India is not going to Pakistan, that's for sure. And it's going to transfer to Sri Lanka or UAE. And ICC can't conduct ICC champions trophy without India, because the
yes,
money
the ICC. Yeah,
money
of
will come
course,
from India.
of course, the ICC cannot and will not have it in Pakistan exclusively if India refuse to go, because that is about I think that's about 55% of the audience alone gone if India don't participate. And the thing is, they know that India has to participate, and Pakistan say that they're going to boycott the World Cup in 2026 in India. But the thing
He
is,
also said
I don't think
Asia.
I don't think India really care. Does it really
Yeah.
matter if they don't? If Pakistan boycott, they don't have. They're not part of the big three. So India would care more if someone like Australia or England said, you know what, we don't want to play. But it's Pakistan. There's already tensions between the two countries. And yeah, I don't think they'd really care. But in the end of the day, I do agree that India shouldn't go to Pakistan based on safety alone. And it's a shame, but it is what it is, unfortunately. And safety comes before cricket, always. Of course. What I would like to see, though, one day, I wouldn't mind seeing an India-Pakistan ICC World Test Championship game in England. That'd be interesting. The crowd would be interesting. I'll tell you what, that would be actually entertaining to see the crowd.
But Pakistan is not gonna qualify in near future.
Oh no, definitely not
India
next year. I think
are
you'll notice it'll be India,
too much
Australia again,
stronger
and
than
Lords.
BBL.
India, Australia, and
Australia,
Lords, definitely.
and the New Zealand. So
Have you seen the rest fixture and the chances of every team in WTC?
I've seen the rankings for the. Wait, you said the
South
rankings for
Africa have
the.
a pretty good chance to qualify. They have a 7 match in which they need to win 6, and they have two match against Bangladesh and 2 match against Sri Lanka and 3 match against Pakistan. So they have a very
That's
pretty
England,
good
right?
chance. And
No,
also
South Africa.
if India beat Australia 3-0 or 4-0.
I still think Australia will at least win at least one test to force that team in particular to not make it. I just think the percentage is too strong, and New Zealand are gonna. You'll notice with New Zealand they're going to go through a rough patch, unfortunately. Because have you seen the amount of players that have rejected central contracts?
Yeah, their most players are leaving their central contract and want to play leagues.
Exactly. And that's going to be like, especially young talent like Finn Allen. That's really disappointing to see. But I'm not sure what New Zealand are just going to have to restructure themselves in the test front, especially because Kane Williamson has said that he's opted out of the. I think Kane Williamson will still play Test cricket. I just don't think he'll play those bilateral series against teams in New Zealand. I think he'd just rather go get the coin in other leagues. And good on him, I guess. He's done great for his career, and it would make sense.
Is MLC really competitive and good like SA20, ILT20?
Yeah, I do think so. I think there's a lot of talent in that MLC, and there's a lot of domestic talent that you don't really see in the ILT20 because of the rules that they've got there. And the SA20 I've heard is pretty good. I haven't watched any of it myself yet. I'm waiting for an RCB franchise before I go into that league. But before that, I think the MLC is good. The amount of talent that has come from last year to this year has been good. We saw Pat Cummins. We saw a bunch of Australians who weren't playing. Marcus Stoinis was there as well, who actually I think he played. So that's a bad example. Glenn Maxwell, Steve Smith, Travis Head.
MLC is also helping US native player as we saw in the last T20 World Cup.
Of course.
Is like gem they have found.
And that with the
Saurav
Olympics in
Netravalkar
2028.
definitely gonna bid high in IPL auction.
You hope so, because we did see some really good talent, especially in that final. I don't like talking about the final, but I know you do. But I hate talking about it as a Unicorns fan. But yeah, there was a lot of good talent in that game alone, let alone the whole tournament. So yeah, I also think with the Olympics in 2028, US cricket's going to be on the up, and we're going to see some. We're going to eventually, hopefully, see a good US team. I don't think we'll see them in ODIs and Test, but definitely T20.
Yeah, they can. To be honest, I don't want Saurav Netravalkar in RCB.
Really?
Because Chinnasamy pitch will not suit him.
So would you retain Lockie Ferguson?
No, there is no place. There is 6 place, and for the retention, I want Virat Kohli, Mohammad Siraj, Rajat Patidar, and Will Jacks. And for the RTM, Cameron Green or Yash Dayal or Glenn Maxwell.
Yeah. Well, the sad thing is, I don't think Maxi would even want to come back. He unfollowed RCB on Instagram. That's a real shame.
It can be
Hopefully, that
rumored.
doesn't mean the end. I know. Personally, I don't think that matters really. Just probably he could have accidentally unfollowed him, but everyone's like, oh no, he's going to leave RCB. We could just release him and then pick him back up.
But
I'll tell you what, he had a really disappointing IPL. So I don't know, but he's one of those people who you still want him. You saw what he did against Afghanistan, and I know it was a different format, but you saw what he did. He defeated Afghanistan with two legs that weren't even working. So you definitely want that in RCB. We want a winning culture, and I think Maxwell is part of that.
CSK will be going hard for Glenn Maxwell. Last auction against RCB, it was CSK that bid his price till 14 crore.
Yeah, CSK, I won't be surprised if they go for him. And I don't know. You'll notice that I've heard that Mitchell Starc wants to play franchise leagues more, so you'll probably see his name pop up. For KKR, they'll definitely retain him. I don't know if Pat Cummins will even play for the Sunrisers because of the schedule. We're going to the West Indies for a couple of international things. And I think Pat Cummins has said multiple times he prioritised representing this country than franchise, which is good on him. It's good to see that players are representing their country more. So I think, Pat Cummins won't be participating in the IPL, but we'll have to wait and see. And hopefully RCB can actually poach him if the Sunrisers don't retain, because I'll tell you what, we were this close to retaining or to picking up Pat Cummins. This close. That would have been awesome. But yeah.
That time I was crying like, why RCB is doing it for Cummins? I don't used to consider him a good bowler in T20. But
imagine him and Virat on the same team.
Wrong. Is there any match in Melbourne, Border Gavaskar Trophy?
Yes, of course. There's Boxing Day, so that's on the 26th of December to the 30th of December.
And are you going
every
to
year.
stadium to watch? Are you going
of
to
course, I am.
I've
got my ticket already. It was a sellout. I think it was the pre-sales came out, and I got my ticket just in time. There's going to be heaps of people at the MCG, and that's going to be very exciting. So I'll definitely be part of that. I went to the series last year against Pakistan. All 4 days I went. And I'm going to do the exact same this year. I'm going to go to all the days. So that's going to be really fun. And hopefully Australia win.
No, don't. What do you think about the future of ODI cricket?
I think ODI is... look, I think it's becoming a little bit more irrelevant besides the ODI World Cup. I still think the ODI World Cup is on top. It's the most important thing in cricket. I still think that's the case. But I just think, unfortunately, those bilateral series are just they're not important and players are skipping it. So I hope it makes a comeback. And I'm really excited for Australia's ODI against England in September. That's going to be very good. But unfortunately, I don't think it will grow that much. It's only going to die down from here, minus the World Cup, because the World Cup's just a different breed in itself.
There's a rumor that ICC will be reduce the ODI games, and ODI will be played only in World Cup year, and it will be not played in between 3 years.
That would be really sad, to be honest, because I'm still going to be going to that Pakistan ODI at the MCG. I'm going to still go. I love ODIs, so it would be really sad. I think everyone would agree. I know it's not doing great, but it's still such an important part of cricket. Same with Test cricket. We don't want either of those formats to die because of T20. That would be the death of cricket if Test or ODI both die.
But the reality is that these two formats are not attracting a larger audience. And neither, other than big three, no teams is earning money from this format.
Yeah, I know. Of course, it's all going to be about money, but I'm sure that the people in other countries that aren't in the big three like watching their team that isn't like America or anything. Like a Pakistan, they would like watching ODIs. I know Sri Lanka would. Bangladesh would. That's just to name a few. So it would be really sad if it went, but of course, hopefully that's not the case and we still get plenty of cricket all year round.
And what do you think about Champions Trophy? Is it relevant?
No, I don't. Because what is the point of that with like, I know it's ODI and that kind of contradicts what I just said. But the thing is, I think that ODI World Cup is way more important. Would you rather be known as a Champions Trophy winner or an ODI World Cup winner? So, I think winning an ODI World Cup would be way more important. And the Champions Trophy, I just don't see the relevancy in it, to be honest. I don't think it really matters. You win it, that's great. But you don't want to be known for just that. You want to be known for winning bigger.
I just want 2025 because last defending champion is Pakistan, and I don't want that it will be told that last Champions Trophy winner is Pakistan.
They took down you guys, didn't they? I'm sure that was really devastating. But I don't think Pakistan are going to be winning that. Definitely not. It'll be India or Australia again, plain and simple. I think England are on the down with ODIs. You saw them in the World Cup. I don't think New Zealand will be up to standard. Do you think Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are going to retire after that Champions Trophy for white ball?
I don't think. They both want to play 2027 World Cup, and it depends on their form.
Yeah.
How much?
Because obviously they did retire, both of them from T20s as winners, and Warner did that as well in ODI. But yeah, maybe.
This is the reason they retired for T20 because they wanted to play the longer format more. That's the reason they retired from T20 when they.
That's
won
good.
The T20.
That's good. That's good. That's a good thing, to be honest. It's Virat Kohli, I think, in my opinion, will always be known as the ODI specialist. That was his format, and that's what he's best at, in my opinion. Just the way that he went about ODI cricket, he was very dangerous, anchoring innings. Even that final against Australia. I know you guys don't want to talk about that, but I'll bring it up. I think the way that he played before that wicket, India had a chance before he was gone. He was just carrying them in that time. Sure, there was no boundaries, but he was just chipping it around, and that's the perfect ODI style of cricket. And yeah, I just think he's best at ODI.
And also, you guys have
Jew was a big
because first 15 ball Travis had passed but didn't touch the stump.
Well, also, I think the fact was Jew played a factor in that game, as you guys, because just the way that it was the pitch. And you can't say, oh, it was luck. I don't agree with that because Rohit Sharma wanted to bat. If you remember, he said in the interview, I would have chosen to bat. So Pat Cummins knew what he's doing, and it was just tactical brilliance. Tactical brilliance. That's what it is. But yeah, it was a very good game. And to be honest, I think India were probably the best team of that tournament anyway. Only losing that one game. But yeah, it is what it is. Move on. You guys have since won an ICC trophy. So look, I know you guys would want to win that, but I guess it numbs the pain.
Let's talk about the BBL draft.
Yep,
Which players do you think Melbourne Star is going to sign?
So I think, judging by the list and the availability, I think will obviously play a big part of it. I think we'll be picking Laurie Evans from the Perth Scorchers because they've already got Finn Allen, so they've got an explosive batter. I think we'll pick him. If we can't get him, we got to go for someone like a James Vince who can play a couple of games. I think we're going to retain Osama Mir from Pakistan. He is available for the full season, so I think that would be a valuable pick. I don't think we will pick up Ralph again because Ralph has been, ever since Virat Kohli smacked him, he's been completely exposed and it just hasn't worked out for him. So I don't think that the Stars will be picked. But I know that in BBL 9, he did really well with the Stars and he was supposed to play for us the whole year. And then near the end of the season, Pakistan said, knocking on the door saying, hey, we want Ralph. He's great talent. And that year he got a hat-trick as well and he dominated that year. But ever since then, I think players they've noticed that he's just raw pace and he's not going to slow it up. So that's why I don't think the Stars will pick him. And the final, because we can pick 3 players, we have to skip, every team has to skip, I think, once in the draft. So that it's really weird in my opinion. That's really silly. But anyway, I think the last player that we'll pick will be like a Shamar Joseph because he's put his name up. Or almost like if we don't pick up if we don't pick up Laurie Evans, you know who's available who wouldn't be retainable and we could just grab him? Jason Roy. He's put his hand up. He can play 6 to 9 games for the Stars. He's not going to be retained, so because he didn't play for anyone last year, it would be a good pickup. And I think there's a chance that the Stars do that because our coach Peter Moores, not Liam Moores. Peter Moores is a Englishman himself, so was Jason Roy. He was saying something that he wanted a left batter. I think Jason Roy may fit that description. So I don't know. But obviously, Glenn Maxwell's no longer the captain of the Stars. So we've got to find a new captain. Is it going to be Stoinis? Is it going to be Cartwright? Is it going to be Bo Webster? Only time will tell. I think
Who do you think can captain Melbourne Stars now?
I think that we will. Stoinis will probably be the option, but I think Hilton Cartwright would be better. But I just judging by the amount of international star power that Stoinis brings, I think he'll be eventually decided as captain. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's disappointing that Maxwell decided to step down. But
Also talking about captaincy, RCB also need a captain. Who do you think can?
I think give it back to Kohli, to be honest. Give it back to Kohli. I think
we all want
it'd
it.
be much better. Everyone wants it.
But
I don't think Faf was that great of a leader for RCB.
if KL Rahul is not coming to RCB, then I can confirm that Virat Kohli is gonna captain RCB again.
Yep. Rahul, I really hope he does come.
That's my
That'd
prediction.
be good. That would be good if Rahul came. But yeah, I think Virat will take the captaincy and represent RCB. Well, he's going to be RCB for life, but he'll definitely be captaining RCB if Rahul is not there, I reckon. Because I just don't think there's just anyone else who can do it at RCB at the moment, at least.
My topic list is covered, so I don't have a topic.
No, all good. Thanks for getting me on, man. It's great being on this channel, and hopefully I'm back at some stage. But yeah, great talking cricket with you, mate. Subscribe to this man.
It was a nice
Subscribe
talking
to this
you.
man. Subscribe to this man. CricNerd. CricNerd 18.
If you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe this guy, ICC Jimbo. He stream cricket and also make review on it. So if you watch cricket, then you should must subscribe him.
Thank
So,
you.
thank you.
And vice versa. Do the same.
Also, thank you
Subscribe to
ICC Jimbo.
CricNerd.
Yeah,
Thanks for getting me on, mate.